Welcome to the long-delayed episode of the Comics Brew and Chew podcast, where today there are no brews because, I didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay?
The Comics and Chew podcast.
Yeah. The comics
Emphasis on chew.
do and chew.
Oh,
Because I have a Mountain Dew kickstart, and I just saved the podcast.
In a shocking turn of events, I haven't read this book.
God damn it, Pulaski.
We have been delayed because Tom finally got an actual job. And now,
What do you mean?
And now he can't figure out how the
No,
fuck-
it's because now I have two jobs.
And one's a real job.
I mean, the other one pays 150% better.
So now that John and I are like two women sharing a cycle, we are synchronized with our days off. Tom over here can't get his shit together.
No.
So we are doing the book we are going to do for the well-acclaimed movie release for a film I have yet to see, Joker. I was like, we're going to do the real Joker because I apparently have an issue.
The real Joker origin story.
I apparently have an issue with the movie being non-canon, to quote outside sources. But today we are going to be doing Batman the Killing Joke, the deluxe edition, which means nothing outside of the fact that there's just extra words on this cover.
Ah.
Yes.
It's like the Game of the Year edition of the Arkham Asylum game.
Exactly.
Which also featured Joker.
Did you ever see that?
No.
If you get the chance, Google Batman Arkham. It was Arkham City Game of the Year edition. The cover is Batman and Catwoman back to back, black and white, and then there's just red text all over the box.
It was.
And it's all like ratings, all like 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 5 stars.
And there's no different content in the game?
No.
No, it comes with
Oh,
Batman Year One,
Okay.
the season pass,
Oh, you get the costume and stuff.
and then you get like some exclusive costumes too.
I
Which
look
is how I
forward
have
to
Batman
a
Year One.
director's cut of Joker with red text all over the box then.
Yeah, hopefully. It's bad.
So I'm surprised Tom didn't read this because apparently it's written by Jesus Christ himself, Alan Moore.
But
Who can do no wrong.
I've read a whole one Alan Moore book in my life.
You have read 2 Alan Moore books, you slut.
What else have I read?
Watchmen and Swamp Thing.
I have only read parts of Swamp Thing. I haven't read it in full. I did really like what I read of it, but I don't think I even read a full volume's worth. I was reading issues, and I don't know how deep into a volume I got.
And the artist on the book is Brian Bolland, and I think coloring by somebody else because there's usually a colorist involved too. I say that because the coloring. Oh no, Bolland also did the coloring because of how essential the colors are to this actual volume.
Excuse me?
And I'm gonna wait to spoil part of this book, but there's a big revelation about this podcast involving this book.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Now,
we know this revelation.
I know it, and one other person in the room knows it.
so at the time of recording this, Fred and John
Hi.
have not seen Joker.
Have not seen Joker.
Amanda and I have.
Tom and
Yeah.
Amanda have.
Right.
So maybe we're not gonna go super in depth with Joker. Maybe we'll do an episode on it at some point.
Or I'll just watch Taxi Driver and wear a Batman T-shirt and call it the same thing. It's really
I've heard people compare it to that.
I would say Taxi Driver and bits and pieces of Requiem for a Dream, which is funny because that starred Jared Leto.
So I'll just watch Taxi Driver because I'm not investing into 2 movies.
Especially not one with Jared Leto.
If I wanted
Requiem
to
is great.
If I wanted to watch a bad Joker movie with Jared Leto, I would just go back to Suicide Squad.
Don't ever do that.
Please
Ever.
don't ever mention that either.
So, Killing Joke actually has an interesting thing, but you gotta wonder if it's true because it kind of delves into the Joker's origin story.
This book became the Joker's origin story.
Really?
This book was non-canon when it was published. This book I have heard it described as a contractual obligation. Alan Moore was like, very British, very cynical, was like, I think
Alan Moore is cynical?
Yes. He's like, I think I'm good working for DC. I'm gonna go do some other stuff now. DC was like, we kind of got you for like 1 more book. Like, do you think you can do 1 more Batman book? And he's like, sure, I'll do this like one-off Joker book. Where like, all this crazy bullshit happens because it's not continuity, right? And the editors were like, it's definitely not in continuity. So he's like, I'll tell the Joker's origin story and I'll fuck with a bunch of characters. And then everybody in DC went, this is great. This is canon. And Alan Moore went, what? No, it can't be. And they're like, but it is. This book changes so many status quos. And knowing that it becomes canon also has to change how you interpret the ending.
So, real quick, when did this come out?
A while ago. And that's about all I remember. I think it was the 80s.
Okay.
It says it in here somewhere. It's not going to give me the right one because this one says copyright 2019.
Let me use something called the internet.
It
1988.
was... Okay.
It says
Yeah,
it
I was
in
just
the,
trying to put that into
it says it in the
perspective.
front of the book. I just have to find the original copyright on it. So this story.
1988.
Oh, thank you, John. So this story is
1988.
set in
Thank you.
around 1988. It's the backstory of the Joker, but it is the story of one bad day and what one bad day does to a person. It is highly regarded amongst Batman circles and fans of DC in general as one of the best books, especially one of the best Joker books.
Good catch.
Oh, thank you.
All the crinkling right now.
Yes. Just to the side, we have like a bunch of Nabisco products for our snacks, and then store brand Girl Scout cookies because I didn't go home between work and the podcast, so I didn't grab the Tim Tams I got. But
That's okay, that'll be our Watchmen episode.
yeah, because I'll be able to. Actually, if stuff, I'll talk about that later. But the book opens with Batman going to Arkham to talk to the Joker, and he has this big epic conversation where he's like, one of these days it's going to come down to you and me, and one of us is going to kill the other one. And he reaches over, pulls the Joker out of the shadows, and it's not the Joker, it's some schmuck.
It's very reminiscent of his interrogation of the Joker in The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
where they're in just a dark room.
And Joker's escaped from prison
Again.
and then it begins his backstories, where he is this failed comedian who's struggling to get by. His wife is now expecting, and then it fades in and out of his backstory. He purchases an amusement park, which someone has gone, why do you leave abandoned amusement parks standing in Gotham? Like, with the Joker around, abandoned amusement parks, abandoned toy factories, they should just be, like, demolished right away, because you know he's going to hide in one of those.
So Joker would be right at home with all of the empty Toys R Us right now.
Oh, exactly. He'd be thrilled.
Tom has like one half of a Batman story.
He does.
Yep.
But as it goes, Barbara Gordon is shot, Jim Gordon is captured. You see the creation of a character known as the Red Hood, who does appear in actual Batman continuity back in the 40s.
Oh, I didn't know the character debuted that long ago.
Yeah, because...
Or do you mean 40s in comic, or real 40s?
Real 40s.
Did not know that.
He was a one-off when they were doing like these joke gag characters. Then they retcon in this, because it's out of continuity, that it was the Joker. Re-retcon into continuity because they made this continuity. Red Hood was the Joker. Gets Jokerified. And that's why when Jason Todd comes back, he takes the mantle of Red Hood as a way to take it from the Joker and then kind of stick it to him.
I love Under the Red Hood.
That was fantastic. So Joker submits Gordon to One Bad Day. The summary of this book is like real short, actually. It's One Bad Day.
Yeah, it looks like a really skinny one.
It is, and like this deluxe edition has like supplementals in the back, and then like 2 follow-up issues that Moore also wrote for different things.
I remember finishing it and just being like, wait, there's no more?
Yeah.
I actually want more.
You from a Batman book?
I loved this book.
And that was the revelation. Amanda liked a Batman book.
Yes, but
Roll
screw
credits.
Batman.
So that's 2 Batman books Amanda's liked of the 4 we've read.
The other being White Knight, right?
The other being White Knight.
Yes.
So,
But the thing
And
is...
she liked the Joker movie.
Yes, but the thing is, I don't like Batman.
You just like all the antagonists.
She likes this because of the Joker aspect.
yeah.
Batman I could do without.
Because this was actually another story. They just put the veneer of the Joker over the top of it. That way people would buy comic books. But, so the entire story is Batman goes to get back Gordon. He fights Joker. And it ends with the 2 of them laughing at the end. Which some people interpret it as Batman finally kills the Joker. But then this book gets put in the continuity. Batman can't have killed the Joker. So he just, like, chokes him out or he arrests him.
Yeah, because it does end on this very ambiguous of... Batman's hands are not on the Joker's neck, though. It's more like on his shoulders.
But even, because it was Grant Morrison that kind of put it out there, like, does he kill the Joker at the end of it? And then Alan Moore's come out and said, probably because he hates Morrison. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't kill the Joker. But,
So where did their feud come from?
Who more? Because Morrison kind of got real popular after Moore was kind of winding down, and when Moore was becoming real cynical and like anti-comic books, Morrison was like going all in on it and like kind of retconning a lot of what
Moore did.
And they're both like Morrison's Scottish,
Yeah.
Moore's English. Like they're just going at it for the sake of going at it, anyways. And they're both like fucking drugged out magicians or whatever. Oh, it's. Morrison believes in chaos magic. Moore is clearly like some hermit wizard Gandalf looking motherfucker hiding under a tree. Like,
I feel like Swamp Thing is an autobiography.
it might be. But
The impact this story has had on like Batman as a
overall.
whole is, for something that started non-canon, is like it's the introduction of Batgirl into Oracle
Right.
in a way.
Because
You don't see her in the wheelchair, but they fly with that idea of her instead of
Yeah.
being on the streets. She's now Batman's guy in a chair, to quote
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
well, gal in a chair and
Gal in a chair,
she can't get up.
and she can't get up. Yeah,
Quote unquote, potentially somebody from DC editorial at the time paralyzed the bitch.
yeah, and like it's the Joker origin story for this. I think I like more than from what I've heard about the movie.
The movie, just to jump in and not directly say anything, the Joker origin story in the movie, I really liked the movie. I love it as the standalone that it is. I wouldn't want that origin in like an ongoing universe, but as a standalone exploration of a character through a different lens, I absolutely love it.
Because I get it. They threw him
Yeah.
into society, and society's toxic, but the chemicals work so much better.
Yeah.
And this is something I always, I guess I haven't read this much Batman. I was always under the impression that, okay, so the Red Hood, well, he doesn't have a name, right?
No, he's the Red Hood.
No, like the Joker, they never say his name, right? So,
In the movie, they name him Jack Napier.
yeah, Jack Napier.
And that's where the name came from for
White Knight.
White Knight.
The failed heist that they go on, where these goons dress him up as Red Hood,
Yeah.
the two goons get shot, and then he runs
Yeah.
in fear. And obviously, he can't see out of the helmet very well.
Right.
He is running, and to get away from the Batman, he jumps over a railing
Yeah.
into said vat.
Yeah.
So that fear of Batman technically creates the Joker, and it's
Yeah.
really
Oh, no,
cool.
Batman makes the Joker. It's kind of like the '89 movie, but instead of like him punching him into a vat of chemicals, he jumps in himself.
And there's this I can't remember if it's the movie or in one of the games you play through that segment.
Oh, it's
I think it's Arkham Knight.
Arkham Origin.
Is it Origin?
Because I never played Knight, but I remember the level.
Yeah, you're playing as the Joker in the Red Hood,
Yeah.
and you see Batman,
Yeah.
but it's not Batman. He's this nightmare, visceral, horror-looking creature, and that's what scares you over the edge. Oh, he throws you in the game.
This work has become so influential, just across the board.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the part of the Arkham Knight DLC for Batgirl actually has it doesn't have Barbara Gordon getting shot,
Right.
but Joker is seen wearing the
Hawaiian outfit.
the Hawaiian outfit. He kidnaps
Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon.
So there's a big controversy that came out of this book a couple years ago. So just for some context, this book comes out, and then a decade later, they decide to get rid of Hal Jordan as the Green Lantern, and instead they create this character Kyle Rayner. 2-3 issues into Kyle Rayner's run, I think it might have been a little more. He gets attacked by a villain, and then the villain ends up going to Kyle's house, killing Kyle's girlfriend, dismembering her, and putting her body in the refrigerator for him to find.
Oh.
This creates a thing called Girlfriends and Refrigerators, which was the title of how women are portrayed in comics, especially side characters. If you're not the direct love interest of a major character, you're probably fucked and doomed to a damsel in distress role, if not worse. So for a while, people have been trying to get better about incorporating women in comics, blah 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 blah. They come out with the Joker anniversary covers for all these different books for Joker Month or Joker Year. And for the Batgirl cover, they had Barbara,
Oh, I
who in the New
remember
52
this.
has gotten over, she's been cured of her paralysis. Like it was,
As
she was
you know, heroes often come over the broken
Well,
back thing in
yeah.
Batman.
Well, I was gonna say in this
Sometimes
one,
they just crawl out of a hole.
in this one, it's less like she was, she was still severely hurt, but instead of like it being permanent, it was like she needed to recover, and in the
Yeah.
recovery period, she was Oracle. Because New 52 happened, everything you remember was in a 5-year span. Batman had 5 Robins in 5 years.
Jeez.
So, they put out the cover of this new Batgirl, and it was the Joker doing the smile thing, drawing the smile on her face in the Hawaiian getup, and people freaked out because they brought up the violence towards women and everything else that was wrong with the Killing Joke, including the fact that people make the assumption that the Joker raped Barbara because of the naked pictures.
Yep.
People were saying that he raped her during that time, and that making that cover. Moore has come out and said no, it was just pictures to unnerve Gordon.
Yeah,
Like,
to
the-
break him.
Yeah, the Joker has no sexual interest in that, but people interpreted it how they did.
Of
They
course.
they pulled the cover. They never released it. You had to get bootleg copies of the cover. However, I purchased. I don't think I ever received it, but I know I tried ordering it online. The Batman and Robin cover for Joker Month, which is the Batman diving through a window to stop Joker from beating Jason Todd with a crowbar. And you can see Joker pulling back with the crowbar and Batman coming through the window. They were showing the death of Jason Todd, which is essentially child abuse, and people were fine with it.
Yeah, because he was like, what, 12?
Yeah, granted, he got it done to himself, but...
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, they made a movie in, like, the same year.
Oh, the movie was like...
The movie was atrocious.
I heard it was very controversially bad.
Okay, so if you want to look at just the Killing Joke in the movie, it was done very poorly. Everybody phoned in their things, but they still got Mark Hamill to read the lines and Kevin Conroy to play Batman.
And didn't they both do pretty awful too, despite how much they're...
How revered they
Yeah.
are.
But the worst thing is, don't they put Batman and Barbara into a relationship?
So, because of the backlash against how Barbara gets treated in this book, instead of making her just a plot point, as everybody pointed out, which is all she was in this book, no one, like, Moore, knowing it was out of continuity, was like, Barbara will be shot, it'll unnerve Batman and unnerve Gordon.
Yeah.
In the movie, because later on, she ends up becoming, like, another important character, blah, 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 blah. They're like, hey...
Oh, so wait, with the movie, did they try to incorporate into, like, their animated movie universe and all of that?
Well, it wasn't, like, they just did an animated adaptation, but they added a half hour to the start of this, in which Barbara is a very important character, the movie focuses on her. Oh, you're supposed to care about her because she fucks Batman.
Yeah, it's kind of like not hypocritical, but it's
Yeah.
like
She bangs Batman.
Is
on
this
the
just in the
roof of
comic or in the movie?
In the movie.
In the movie,
The-
okay.
No, the book opens, and Barbara is implied to be Batgirl,
Yeah.
but she's just there, like, she gets shot because she's Gordon's daughter.
Yeah.
He doesn't know she's Batgirl. He just does it because
Yeah.
he needs to get to him.
Does he ever put that together in the post continuity? Does he ever like put together like, I shot Barbara Gordon and that red-haired Batgirl just gone?
See, it's weird because depending on which continuities you go after that, like, depending on what crisis happened,
Yeah.
he kind of knows he doesn't. There's an event in New 52 where he implies he knows who every Robin is, and that sets all the Robins against Batman.
I love the idea that didn't you tell me there's one comic where Joker knows it's Bruce Wayne, and it's just too much fun to like let it up.
It might be that, or it might. There's another one where the Riddler knows.
But the Riddler would have fun with it though. That's the thing.
He says he's going to tell everybody, and Batman goes, "If you tell everybody the answer to the riddle, what's the point of the riddle?"
And he
get-
breaks him.
And the
So
Riddler,
then the Riddler changed to the exclamator.
so the Riddler never tells anybody. That was a Jeff Loeb book. That did not end.
I remember, just to sidetrack real quick, there was in a Robot Chicken, they did 3 DC comic specials, and in one of them, the Riddler has a whole posse, and he's like, the Riddler is here! And then he has, like, the exclamation mark, the comma, and he, like, when the comma comes in, he goes, the comma, I am. And then, like, Batman punches them all, and then 2 guys come around the corner, and they go, did anyone use quotes yet? It's like this whole punctuation gang, and I loved it. It's one of my favorite skits from that.
But yeah, so this has never really been adapted though after this.
I feel like based on what you're talking, though, I see a lot of elements of it in Joker. I even see quite a bit of it in The Dark Knight and a little bit in Burton's first movie as well.
Just flipping through this a little, there's one scene when he's trying to find the Joker that is just like in Dark Knight, to reference that again, where Batman's just walking around breaking people's legs trying to find the Joker.
Like, this book is dark. This book is heavy. This book gets reworked into Scott Snyder's run to bring him back up in Zero Year because it changes the origins of the Joker. It's still Joker falls in a vat of acid, but in this one, in Zero Year, he's a like a competent gangster.
Yeah.
And there's a Red Hood gang. They were basing him off of the criminal Red Hood because they figured hearing the name of this well-known bad guy, the cops would stay away, or at least they'd be too afraid to engage them.
Yeah.
But no, like the art style in this, the choice to go to like muted colors for the flashbacks outside of like the red of the Red Hood, the red of the shrimp, like until he becomes the Joker, the background is all like just muted and like he doesn't remember it. And I don't know if he says it in this, but I know he says it in the movie. He goes, if I could choose to have like to have a backstory, it would be multiple choice because he can't remember anything. This is just one of the potential backgrounds he remembers.
Because I think Joker alludes to it in this book that whole backstory is just not. It could potentially not be real. And I like the idea that the Joker doesn't have. I know this is the point you just made, but like the Joker doesn't have. Even he doesn't want to like have a backstory.
And to go off of what you said regarding the Joker movie at the start of the podcast about not, liking what you've heard about it, but not loving what you've heard about his origin in there.
Yeah,
that's kind of one of the things that works for me because more than anyone else in comics for me, Batman and Joker are characters that I really love seeing consistently readapted.
Yeah.
And I don't ever get so attached to this is this character's origin, blah blah, because I know in a few years it's gonna be a different actor and a different whatever anyways. And that's half the fun of these characters and why I don't care about committing to one and whatever take I love the Joker's stories in The Dark Knight. I love seeing this one hypothetical origin in Joker, and then beyond that particular story, it doesn't matter.
Also to say, you just said that it sounds like there's a lot of the movie in this.
Yes.
Well, the
vice
other
versa,
way
whatever,
around.
yeah.
No.
No?
No. No.
No.
No.
I guess I'm wrong.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'll leave it at that.
Oh my God, Tom's wrong.
I'm going home.
Amanda
I'm getting
just
a third job.
mansplained something to Tom.
I'm getting a third job. I'm not
His
going to
shoe's
be on
on
this
the other
podcast
foot.
again.
I guess we can call it a man's plane now.
Amanda's playing. Amanda's playing.
They're two very different Jokers.
Okay.
See, what I like about the Joker is so many comic book characters are kind of or villains at least, are this is who I was before I was the villain, and I'm gonna have that mold me into who I am while being the villain.
Yeah.
The Joker just he throws everything away.
Yeah.
He's just the Joker.
Yeah.
Batman clings on to this identity of Bruce Wayne almost to keep him safe and
In a way, though,
and drive Amanda crazy.
the Bruce Wayne thing to me too.
More like Brood Wayne, am I right? Hey,
The Bruce
the
Wayne
killing joke.
thing.
More like Bruce Lane.
Yes.
Brood Lame.
When she writes her own spin-off character, it's a parody.
I'm Brood Lane. I'm the Shat Man.
But it's okay because she found a Batman book she likes.
Yeah, I would say this is probably one of the quintessential Batman stories at this point.
It is. It's funny because people are the authors you need to read for Batman: Moore, Miller, Morrison.
Yeah, I mean,
Which, if you want to do Miller's Dark Knight or Dark Knight Returns, no, Year One or Dark Knight Returns,
I really like Year One. That's one of my favorite Batman stories.
it's got too much Batman in it for Amanda, so I'm not going to suggest it to the
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh, I was gonna say, is really handing me more Batman?
But it's early. I mean, yeah, it's still. I don't think he broods too much in that one because that's
He
when he's
always
still.
broods. That's just who
Yeah, he's
he
very
is.
early.
No, but he
on
tries to solicit a
Not
prostitute,
in the 1960s
Yeah,
TV
Whoa.
show.
He does, yeah.
and then he gets stabbed by one.
Oh.
He does.
You should
So
just
he
Does
watch
he
retires
die?
60s
from it.
Batman.
He
You like
almost died.
60s Batman? There's no brooding in 60s Batman.
That is true.
He fights a shark.
With his bat shark repellent.
I still have some of those on my DVR I gotta watch. But, like, yeah, the Joker as a villain is just a force of nature,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal.
You could also watch some Joel Schumacher Batman.
That's too dark. We don't talk about Joker.
I don't like Schumacher's Batman.
Nobody likes Schumacher's Batman.
Does Schumacher like Schumacher's Batman? I think he is.
But I have to say the story in Schumacher's Batman is more coherent than Aquaman.
Here we go.
Nope.
We don't know how
No.
I feel about Aquaman.
What?
Not a fan. But yeah, Killing Joke's definitely, if you like, I know Batman's a very entry level drug in terms of comic books.
But it's also one that does have some of the best
The-
stories as well. Like, he's a character that everyone gets, so that gives them a lot more freedom to go in some pretty wild directions with him.
You know, for a podcast where most of us are more Marvel leaning, we do
A lot
a
of Batman.
lot of DC.
Yeah, we do.
We could do some Marvel. He plans it. I'm pointing at Fred. You guys have the books. You just do give me stuff, and I will try to read it.
Well, we can start to, like, get together to podcast more, and, like, everybody reads the books.
I want to do some spoods.
Spooderman.
Yeah, Blue and Blue.
I have that. I have
Yeah.
someone's Spider-Man Blue. Okay.
Which, did you read?
I need to reread it. It was like
I-
a year ago.
Yeah, because she gave it to me, and I
Yeah.
assumed it was hers. And then I was like, I have your Spider-Man Blue. She goes, that's Fred's. I'm like, of course it is. Just like your Hawkeye omnibus. I still have that.
Yeah.
And your Captain Marvel.
But, as far as, like, this being recommended to people, you don't even need to be a big Batman fan.
Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No,
Take
no.
it from Amanda.
No, but, like, you don't
She
need...
shot his parents. No, she would have done everything to prevent the parents from getting shot because then there's no Batman.
Joe Chill more like no chill. No, just like you don't need to have a lot of background information on Batman to read this because he's not that big a character in a book called
No, it's beautiful.
Batman. And it's well drawn, very well written. It's short, read it in like a half hour.
I was so confused
Why?
when it was over.
Oh,
I was too, because I read it legitimately. And where I read it legitimately,
there's backups in it.
they skip that whole Joker section at the back and goes right into that weird after story. I don't know if you guys read that. The weird looking dude with like just the gray hair, bowl cut with the glasses.
Mm-mm.
He's this guy and he's just talking about Batman. He's recording a video. He's talking about Batman and how, like, you know, he fights all these crazy villains and all this other stuff. And he, like, he alludes to having a girl chained up in the sewers and feeding her to rats. And he ends this thing by saying, like, he'll just kill Batman. He doesn't need a crazy costume. He's just going to have a gun.
I'll help him.
Oh,
and
no,
he'll be
it's,
set up on a grassy knoll, and he'll just shoot him, and that'll be the end of the Batman.
He's like, how do you know that you're a good person unless you actually commit a bad act and feel bad about it afterwards? So he's like, what's the worst thing I can do? Oh, I'll just kill Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
That
he would
sounds
be.
like a good
I asked Fred. I was like, "Did that go anywhere? Does this guy ever pop back up?" Because honestly,
I don't think so.
maybe someone just like that, like just a normal guy trying to like, as a Batman villain, would be interesting. Because I can't think of many people he has in his rogues gallery that's just like normal. You have like, you know, the closest I could think of to normal would be like Victor Zsasz or like the Penguin. But even then, they have odd motivations. This guy's motivation is he just wants to do something bad to feel bad about it.
That's it. I'm just gonna write a Batman book where Batman actually dies, and it's just a female that kills him straight out.
Has that happened before? Because I know a couple of times Batman's quote-unquote died.
Oh, give me those.
Nightfall.
Nightfall, that's
He
it.
dies at the end of Arkham Knight.
He dies at the end of Batman R.I.P.
He died to me in Batman v Superman and Justice League.
He's been dead to me.
He,
I mean, Ben Affleck did all right. Leave him alone.
he dies.
He's trying.
Oh,
I have no problem with Affleck, it's just Snyder.
Infinite Crisis, he dies. He gets Omega sanctioned by Darkseid and, like,
What is Omega sanctioned? Is that what the UN does to countries like North Korea?
It's so you know what the Omega beam is.
His I-beam things that like shoot weird.
Yeah. But it's the death that is life, and it sends Batman back in time, and he has to live like 1,000,000 lifetimes over and over and over again. So he ends up in like prehistoric Earth, and like he murders a giant bat and becomes like a
man-bat.
Yeah. And then like he goes through time and is like pirate Batman and Puritan Batman and like.
Oh, okay. So I've seen like those action figures and stuff, and
it's a nice way to make toys.
Puritan Batman. He goes after those women who showed their ankles. Be gone, treacherous villain! What are you doing in my house? Oh man, Batman is a character that like I like him, but like sometimes he's too much.
If you start.
Sometimes?
You start pulling threads on Batman, and nothing ends well.
Yeah, I mean, like my biggest exposure to Batman are non-book media, like the games and the movies, and I have read a fair much, but he doesn't really brood in the games and the movies because there's no like inset text for you to like. He does think sometimes in the Arkham games, and
I mean, if I want to, I can just get him to like pose on top of a gargoyle, and I'll just leave him there for a few hours and come back.
Arkham Knight goes heavily into his thought process because he's turning into the Joker, which is interesting. They go into this whole thing where the Joker is his blood transmits some kind of disease that then turns people into the Joker.
Jokerism.
Oh, so Batman has the Joker disease, and he's slowly losing his mind and becoming the Joker. It's a really cool idea. He ends up beating it because he's fucking Batman.
Well, I just want to play the game so I can figure out who the Arkham Knight really is. Because they told me it wasn't Red Hood.
Do you want spoilers? Do you want spoilers for a
I know
5-year-old game now?
I know
it was Red Hood.
Yeah. Hey, we have this character with 2 guns showing up in a Batman game. He's a fan favorite. Everybody's wanting.
To be fair, the Arkham Knight character,
yeah,
super fucking cool.
Yeah, his costume looks super fucking rad. They now made a character in the comics called Arkham Knight based off of that character design, but it's not Jason Todd, and everybody goes, but how? That's Jason Todd.
Yeah. It's cool because like it's not Jason Todd, and then like throughout the whole game he's Arkham Knight and he's like taunting Batman, and it's almost their own take on Under the Red Hood. But near the end of the game, his like helmet gets damaged, and he takes the ears off, and then his face mask just goes red, and he's Red Hood. Yeah. And you're like, oh.
I mean, I kind of knew it was Red Hood going into it, but
everybody did.
I've seen clips of like the ending, and like what he's saying is very clearly, "I'm Jason Todd. You let me die."
There is an interesting thing with that game because Batman reveals his identity to save Barbara and Jim Gordon from Red Hood, who's lost his mind, but he's working with someone, Scarecrow. Right. So he reveals his identity. He's like, yeah, I'm Bruce Wayne. On camera. Everyone sees it. And then he's like, oh, Alfred, Nightfall Protocol. And he goes home. And the game ends with, like, all the media and people outside Bruce Manor. And Batman, like, walks inside. And then the manor explodes. That's how Arkham Knight ends. And everyone's like, oh my god, he's dead. And everyone assumes like one of his villains did it, but he did it. And then there's like a post-credit scene like these people are robbing someone, and you see Batman, but like it's very clear whoever this Batman is now using Scarecrow's toxin as Batman to like scare the bejesus out of people. It's a really cool angle on Batman. A little dark, proved to use scare toxin, but that's my tirade about Arkham Knight. Waiting for that new one to be announced officially.
The Court of Owls.
Oh, are they working on one?
The Court of Owls.
When are we going to read the follow-up to Court of Owls?
Well, apparently we can't read any more DC because someone's in protest.
Well, let's do a Marvel. Let's just,
we'll break it up with a Marvel, and then we'll do that.
We're doing Watchmen. That's not technically DC.
It's Vertigo, and I will argue that is not DC. I don't care.
Well, I mean, they killed Vertigo now, so...
Everything's Black Label.
The next episode is probably going to be Watchmen. And we're going to stick almost strictly to the book.
Well, I haven't seen Snyder's.
Yeah, that's why we're going to stick strictly to the book.
But I am caught up in the show.
Yeah.
That's why we're sticking
strictly
to the book.
No,
if we can mention stuff, like we're not going to dive into the show. We're going to say, oh, this ending is canon with the show if you want to watch the show. Maybe we'll bring up how Snyder's differs, because there are some differences. And then after Watchmen is sticking with W's. Witches! Which is a very good horror comic.
Which is.
which is what we were supposed to read for Halloween, but we're kind of late.
Yeah,
on
we're
that one.
very
So
late.
it's like a really early Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
Witches, you know? The Pilgrims.
Yeah. Well, people get stuffed into trees like you stuff a turkey.
Yeah. Witches is really good, though. It's been a
Witches
while
is
since
really
I've read
good.
it, but I love
That's
it.
the first Scott Snyder I've read, actually.
Hot take. Wasn't a fan.
Really? I thought you liked. You gave it to me because you said it was good. You're like, this is good. I'm like, okay, Fred, thank you.
No, I gave it to you because people said it was good.
Oh. Thanks, Fred.
I love it. So
She hates Batman though, so like, do we trust her opinion?
fuck Batman.
She's on Titans.
Titan.
Yeah, okay. Robin.
You know who's Batman in Titans?
Yeah. What's his name?
Jorah
Jorah Mormont.
Yo, his show on Netflix was fucking
There's
fantastic.
a show on Netflix.
Wait a second. What?
The guy plays Jorah?
The guy that plays Jorah has a show on Netflix where he's a PI in Ireland going around solving these weird ass
Wait,
mysteries.
what's it called? Oh, there's 150 episodes, right?
No.
Is it, no?
No, there's like 4.
I think I just heard someone talking about this.
They're like an hour and a half long, but like
Somebody give me more information on this, please.
I mean, you have basically all the information except the title.
I went me. But there's a bar in the show, and I went to the bar when I was over there.
Wow.
You went to Ireland?
Oh, God.
Did you talk about
Ian
that through the
Glenn-
whole Punk
I
Rock
just
Jesus
realized-
episode?
Ian
No.
Glenn was in the fucking Resident Evil movies.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. it's,
Oh, God.
I didn't watch those for Halloween like I wanted to
Why would you want to?
because
Was it
it's
Masterpiece,
late.
Fred?
No.
No.
Jack Taylor.
Jack Taylor?
Bet you.
I'm not even seeing that on IMDb, unless it's older. It's probably older, duh, silly me. But yeah, and then we'll try and do some Marvel stuff next. Maybe some spoods. Or, I was gonna say, there's nothing coming out from Marvel, so there's nothing we can do that's like...
Yeah, the
Disney-
next movie is Widow, and that's not till May.
Yes, but
No trailer for that yet, right?
No, I feel
That's
like
fine.
this month, probably.
That's what they said about Godzilla vs. King Kong.
And that's out in March. I'm so frustrated about that.
No
I was
trailer.
thinking this week for
Nope.
the
I got it.
What?
We don't need to worry about what movie's coming out because we do have Marvel comics to read. Y'all are stupid.
Star Wars?
They license Star Wars.
Yeah, I wanted to do Star Wars. I've heard good things about... First off, the Vader run. All of it is so good.
We could literally just do Vader Down as an episode.
Vader Down's good, but...
I haven't read any of the current Star
Tom
Wars
would
stuff. I'll
like
read it.
the end of the Vader series because they get into some really wild shit.
Are we talking about the
Is it all, like,
series
weird
I was
trippy
picking
Force
up for
stuff?
you?
The one with the one where he's talking to a helmet,
Oh.
but it's not his helmet; it's another helmet, and he
Okay.
puts the helmet on other people, and they get possessed by the helmet. It's crazy. The Star Wars comics, from what I've read a little bit, I've dived into it. They're all really good.
Jason Aaron wrote the core Star Wars title for years, and I like
Yeah.
Jason Aaron a lot.
Oh, Jason Aaron.
Fred, you've heard of him.
He's good.
Fred looks like a schoolgirl. He's like, I love Jason. He has like his hand between his knees, and he's like tilting his head to his side. He's like, I'm Jason Aaron. Oh, I'm getting hot. I'm coming down with the vapors.
Oh my.
Oh heavens! Someone open a window.
I feel quite indecent at the moment.
But yeah, I mean, I wanted to do try and get some Star Wars in, especially the Kylo Ren series leading up
That's
to Episode
still
9.
going, right?
But that
Yeah.
will finish after Episode 9.
Oh, so it's okay.
Issue 2 just came out.
I've read one issue of it, and it's very interesting. We see some training with Snoke and Kylo.
On Dagobah, right? I
On
saw
Dagobah.
some of those panels.
Yeah, it's cool.
give me, I'll take it.
But Vader is really good. I've heard Dr. Aphra is like
A
the
lot of
best
people
thing.
really
Right.
like that. A lot of people, from what I understand,
It's
it's
a-
very like Indiana Jones in
Yeah,
the Star Wars
she's a very
universe.
interesting character, and then that's good. I want to read the Poe comics. I've heard they're pretty fun.
You have some.
You do.
of
I
that,
just have
right?
I just like Poe a lot, so I might just be biased. You know, who wouldn't like him?
I'm just waiting for the crossover with another Disney franchise.
Indiana Jones?
No.
Wait, they don't.
They Dark Horse, when they had the rights, they did a one-off.
Yeah, I've read that
comic,
one. That one's
Indiana
cool.
Jones and Star Wars. It has Indy
Well, Han and Chewie crash on Earth.
years ago in the past.
Han
and then,
dies. Indiana Jones finds the Millennium
Well,
Falcon.
he's in the jungle after reported sightings of Bigfoot.
Yeah, and
which
that's
is
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca, and he finds the Falcon with Han's skeleton in it and whatnot.
And he like touches it. Doesn't he say you have a bad feeling about this?
I think so.
You're like, oh my god, this is so cool, Harrison Ford.
It was just a
and
fun
Harrison
little-
Ford's
Yep.
skeleton.
And Chewbacca is the
It's Sasquatch.
the Sasquatch he's looking for.
Uh,
Yeah.
crossover. So that's
Oh no, the crossover I was talking about was Star Wars / Winnie the Pooh, that we can get Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Podameron.
So is that this episode?
I guess
That's this episode.
We got a
Alright.
lot of stuff coming up though.
We
Social media.
I think Fred made a Discord. I have to make a new Discord, and that's a pain in my dick.
That Discord is meant for public chat. That's meant for us to be able
Yeah.
to use.
Okay, we don't have a Discord.
Go to discord.app/cpod. You can go to that one.
C-Pod?
Yes.
Listen, I don't want to know anything about your C-Pods, man.
And
not
we
doing-
have
Instagram is comics
B and C.
Instagram and Twitter and all that is going to be listed in the video description, where it'll be clickable.
Twitter is at Brew Comics, because I am fucking proud of that Twitter handle.
Brew Comics, I like that.
Yeah, that was just, I went on and I was like, Comics Brew, and she would know Brew Comics, and I was like, fucking sold.
We'll have it all easy to access soon.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Well, I was gonna say we'll be back Wednesday, but that's
That's
Yeah,
not
it's
Wednesday
irrelevant
weekend.
to
Or
Wednesday.
Wednesday. They'll see it like Thursday or Friday.
yeah.
We'll
But
see
it
you
doesn't
when we
matter.
see.
We're dating it, and that's one thing I hate to be is dated.
Not unless it's a bromance.